False beliefs are holding us back in so many areas of our lives, especially when it comes to our self-concept and well-being. If you want to achieve new goals on your wellness journey, you have to be willing to let go of the old and choose better for yourself. Let's dive a bit deeper.
Hi team, today's episode is going to kick you in the butt because we are letting go old beliefs, old limiting beliefs, all the old thoughts that no longer serve us. Take your pen and paper out because you are going to take some notes today. We all have limiting beliefs. We all have thoughts that no longer serve us. We all have things like false beliefs about ourselves that came throughout our childhood. Somebody has told us something, or we have witnessed a scenario, think like, oh, maybe that's what's going to happen to me too. And all these things that no longer serve us. They don't serve us in our life. They don't serve us in our future, not in our present, and we can just let them go. But first, before letting them go, we have to identify them. I want you to take your pen and paper out and write down things about yourself. Like, how do you feel and think and believe about yourself in different areas of your life? We want to assess where you currently are in your journey. When you do a workout, what do you think about yourself? When you skip a workout, what do you think about yourself? Go grocery shopping, what do you think about yourself? How do you feel about yourself? When you go trying on new clothes in the shop, what do you think about your body? How do you see yourself? Like all these things. When you start writing these things down, you might see that most of that stuff is actually quite negative, unless you have been doing the inner work already. But if you haven't, you might find out that some of the things are not very nice. Some of the things you think about yourself, some of the things you say to yourself are not very nice. Without any limits, just write everything down. It doesn't matter how awful it sounds or how embarrassing it is, just write it down. Because you want to have an overview of your situation right now, so that you're able to get out of that situation. And when you have all these things written down, you kind of start to observe them. And when you start to observe them, you quite quickly can realize that these things are not true. If you skip a workout and you think to yourself, oh, I'm a loser, I can never make it to my goal, I'm in bad shape, I can't do anything, like I knew it, I'm not going to make it, I'm lazy, I'm not good enough. Like all these thoughts that you're thinking because you skipped the workout, they are just taking you deeper and deeper into that desperate state of being. We don't want that anymore. But the good thing is that we don't have to believe every thought that comes to our head. We don't have to believe every thought that comes to our head. And this was kind of mind-blowing to me when I realized this, because so many times when we have all these negative thoughts, we believe them. Why? For what reason do we believe them? Because we have always thought that way. It's familiar to us. It's something we've always been living. That's our reality in our mind. But the thing is that we can change that. And we are doing that today. So write down those things, have a look at them, and start to really dig deep to where these things originate from. What happened in your life that made you believe these things about yourself? What happened in your family's life? What happened in maybe your friend's life that made you think these thoughts about yourself? The next thing you want to do is you want to imagine your life, what it would be like if you didn't have these thoughts and beliefs. What if you just let them go? If you think that you're not fit enough or you're lazy, what would happen if you just let go of that thought? How would you live your life? How would you feel about yourself? How would you act? Like, what would actually happen if you just let that thought go? Who says you have to hold on to it? Nobody. So why would you not just let it go? Be free of that thought. I know it doesn't happen overnight. I know it can feel tricky and hard, but the thing is that you have to persist. You have to first make the decision that I'm no longer identifying with this thought. I'm no longer living this reality. I'm ready to let this go. And then you need to open your mind to new possibilities. You need to open your mind to new thoughts. You need to give yourself a chance. Because if you are looking at your list and you're thinking, oh my God, I have so many negative beliefs about myself, how can I ever change this? It's not going to work. You're not going to change. You have to be able to be patient with yourself and to give yourself a chance. Like a fair chance. Not just 2 days in a row trying to change this. No. You have to be persistent. It's all going to pay off at the end. Let me tell you, it is all going to pay off. I want you to start practicing this. Every time you get like a negative thought about yourself or a negative belief, you can observe it. If it feels bad, it's okay. You can feel bad for a moment, but then make the conscious effort to choose something better for yourself. Choose a better thought. It doesn't have to be positive straight away. It can be neutral. You can go from negative to neutral if it's too big of a jump to go from negative to positive. That's okay. When you skip a workout, instead of saying, I'm lazy, I can't do anything, and I'm in bad shape and I will never make it to my goal, you can say, okay, today was not the best day. I didn't do the workout that I was supposed to do, but that's okay. Tomorrow is a new day and I'm going to make it tomorrow. We people tend to have a very black and white mind when it comes to our goals and in our lives. We tend to think like, if I don't make it this way, I will not make it at all. Or if I don't make it today, I will never make it. Maybe you want to train your mind to become more flexible also. And in the beginning, it is going to feel hard because you have to let go of the old. You have to leave the familiar reality behind. You have to reinvent yourself. You have to identify yourself in a completely new way. You are not that person anymore who's always trying to do something, who never succeeds. You are not that person anymore who always skips the workouts and feels bad about themselves. You're not that person anymore who doesn't prioritize their well-being. You're not that person anymore. You have to start understanding and telling to yourself that you are not that person anymore. That's the only way to do the change, to really keep persisting and really telling yourself these new thoughts, these new beliefs, and living the new reality. So if you're here right now and your goal is to get here, but every single day you're living in the same reality, telling yourself the same thoughts, talking to yourself badly when you look into the mirror, talking to yourself, oh, I'm fat, or I'm lazy, I'm not good enough, I'm never going to make it. If you tell these thoughts to yourself every day, but your goal is to get here, how are you going to make it? Are you going to force your way there? Maybe that can work for a certain amount of time, but not long term. Are you going to expect something to magically just put you in that position, into that end goal? No. You have to be realistic with yourself in some sort of way, and honest with yourself especially. You have to understand that if you want to make it from here to here, you have to slowly start thinking, feeling, and acting like this person here. And when you start to think, feel, and act like this person here, even though you're here, you slowly start to gravitate towards that new reality, okay? But if you keep persisting in the old, if you keep hanging on to the old beliefs and thoughts, it's going to be so hard for you to get to this new reality. But the more you start to open your mind, the more you start to train your mind towards this new reality, the closer you get. And that's awesome because you hold the power. You're going to use your power, the power of your mind, the power of your thoughts, beliefs, and actions. You're not going to force anything. You're not going to stress about anything. You're not going to push through it, try harder. No. You're going to be wiser. You're going to use the power of your mind. And if law of attraction is new to you, or if this kind of manifesting thing is new to you, this might sound a bit weird in the beginning. You might be like, but how can I just use my mind and change my reality? I know. I was there too. 2 years ago, when I first read the books about the power of your subconscious mind, how to reprogram your brain and how to change your reality and how to become a better version of yourself, it was a mystery to me. I didn't understand how it actually worked. But now the more I have really searched about it, the more I have read about it, the more I have really practiced it myself, I understand that this is exactly how it works. You have to use the power of your mind, not force. Because forcing things just make you stress about things, and that doesn't lead you to any good results. There are so many good books you could read about this. For example, The Power of Your Subconscious Mind by Joseph Murphy. Then we have Neville Goddard's lessons and videos online. We have Joe Dispenza. We have so many different resources that we can use to really comprehend this subject a bit more, and then to implement it in our lives. So feel free to search also online, read books, do whatever it takes for you to understand that you have all the power in your mind. You hold the power. Start using it. So now your task is to write down all your limiting beliefs, at least the ones that you're able to come up with, and write down all those things, and then start opening your mind up to new thoughts that you could have about yourself. How could you replace these thoughts that you have? I'm not asking you to jump into that new reality and try to live like everything is okay and everything is so good, but I'm trying to identify old beliefs that no longer serve you, write them down, and let go of them one by one. And then choose, what else do you want to believe about yourself? What's the better option for you to think about yourself? What's the better thought? Start opening your mind up to that. And in our next episode, we dive deeper into the dream self and how to really reinvent yourself and become the dream self. Whatever you do in this life, always keep your smile and faith bigger than your fears. Bye.